The Speaker recognizes Representative Stallworth.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With permission, I'd like to speak to the entire package of the bills. You know, going last has its risks. I had a significant amount of prepared remarks, but there's almost everything has been said as to what's important about this package of bills. And so I just want to share a few things that I think are very important. First of all, at the risk of making this a mutual admiration society, I do want to thank Speaker Walsh for his leadership and the members of our committee. We spent countless hours on what was a very complex set of issues, a very complex set of bills, with a lot of different moving parts, oftentimes not having access to information from the courts that we needed to really understand how to craft bills, but also having to take in consideration all of the various stakeholders who individually had very nuanced opinions about what they needed. I also need to spend some time and just thank Judge Rosen and the foundations who have stepped forward with support for this package of bills. And I think it's important to note, while some might call this a state takeover, this deal doesn't happen without the kind of leadership that has come from Judge Rosen and the philanthropic community, who all feel like expediting Detroit out of bankruptcy starts a new day for us, and most importantly, taking care of our retirees and pensioners' needs is critical and a core value that we all should share. You know, it was about 50 years ago when I first came to work in the legislature. I wasn't always a state legislator, but I started as a janitor, sponsored by Representative McNeely, who at that time was Speaker Pro Tem. You know, and I dreamed of the day I might be able to be in this chamber and to really represent the needs of people, to have an impact on their lives, to uplift them and raise the quality of their lives and their future. I could honestly say during the 4 years I've been here, there have been few opportunities where I really felt like that kind of tangible difference was available for us to make. This is one of those opportunities. This is a unique point in time where we each have an opportunity to affect individual people's lives. During our hearings, we heard from retirees who came and talked about the hardships they currently face, living on an average of $19,000 a year. Some who currently have now health benefit bills of $900 a month or more, in fact, exceeding their monthly pension bills. While we often talk about Detroit, Detroit is a legal entity. It is not it's not people. This is about the people who live in Detroit, the people who worked in Detroit, and who now live across this state and need our help. This is a legacy moment. It's an opportunity for us as a chamber to really think about why we're here and to think about the importance of serving those who are most in need. And that's why I'm proud to have had the opportunity to work on this set of bills. It is a rare moment for us, and it's an opportunity for our city to get on solid footing and move forward. For those who might think this is a bailout, there's still a lot of work to be done. We've had lots of our employees have taken pay cuts, and they will continue to have to work their way back to a point of where their wages in the future match what they once were. There's sacrifice that has to be made, and it will be made. And all we are asking for is a hand up. And I can honestly say I appreciate and value all of the support I've received from across this chamber. Lastly, I'd like to just say this. You know, one of the most profound thoughts that was spoken to me when I first got here was by our esteemed clerk, who said, "Tommy, I know you were elected by a district or from a district, but your obligation as a state legislator is to represent the interests of all of the people in the state of Michigan. While we talk about voting our district, you know, this is a time when we really have to think about what it means to be a legislator in this chamber and to think about the implications for all of our people. And I sincerely believe this package of bills is not just important for the city of Detroit, it's important for our state's future. It represents an opportunity for us to turn the corner and to move forward. I've had the opportunity to talk to many of you about your districts. And I know these sets of bills are hard to explain. Hell, I have a hard time explaining them myself. And I've spent countless hours working on them. But I think the main thing is, when it's all said and done, this is about helping people, and it's about establishing an anchor in a value system that respects people and takes care of them when they most need us. And if we're thinking about what we do with our rest of our urban areas or other municipalities who are struggling, this is a precedent-setting moment because it says that we care about people first. We've had the debate about whether this is people versus art. Fortunately, in this set of bills, we were able to take care of both. But if we have a vote to make, this really is about establishing a precedent that says the people in this state of Michigan come first, and we're going to make that our first and foremost priority. And so with that, I understand many of you may have a hard time supporting these bills, and I respect that. But I certainly urge you to try to get to yes, and I very passionately want to ask for your support of this package. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Stallworth.